Boys and girls of grade 6, I am teacher Melinda, and today for grammar we will continue with our topic adverbs. Of course, we will look at a different aspect of adverbs. Since the time before, we would have defined what is an adverb and what it is used for. So today, as we go into this topic, we will look at the uses of adverbs. But before we do, let me do a quick recap. What is an adverb? An adverb is a word that is used to modify or add meaning to a verb or another adverb or an adjective. And so an adverb is a part of speech. So today, we will look at the uses of adverbs. Why do we use adverbs? Or how do we use them? As a matter of fact, adverbs answer different questions. What are those questions? So when an adverb is used in a sentence, it either answers one of these questions. How, when, where, to what extent, and how often. Now, those adverbs that answer the question how are labeled adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner. What do adverbs of manner do? They answer to the question how. So words such as softly, happily, attentively, angrily, luckily are just a few of those that answer to the question how. So for example, the sentence, the girl spoke softly with her friends in the class, has an adverb. As a matter of fact, in order to identify that adverb, you must be able to identify which word is the verb. And so, in finding that word, you will be able to ask the question or find the adverb and then ask the question so that you will see it answers to the question how. So let me go that again. The girl spoke softly with her friends in class. Quickly we know that in that sentence, the verb is spoke. Of course, it's in the past tense. Present tense, speak. Past tense, spoke. So the girl spoke softly with her friends in class. So we ask the question, the girl spoke how? And the answer comes, softly. So in that sentence, softly is the adverb that modifies or adds more meaning to the verb spoke, and it also answers the question how, so that it belongs to the group or set of adverbs that define manner. Yet there is another example. My friend accepted the gift happily for her birthday. My friend accepted the gift happily for her birthday. Of course, we need to identify the verb in that sentence. And the verb in that sentence is accepted. So now we ask the question, accepted how? Accepted happily. So the adverb of manner, or the adverb that describes or adds more meaning to the verb accepted in that sentence, is happily. So next we look at adverbs of time. What do adverbs of time do, or which question do they answer? Adverbs of time answer to the question when. Words such as always, soon, lately, now, next, before, yesterday, since, later, and so on are only some of the words that we can use as an adverb or adverbs of time. So let's look at two examples. The employees were paid yesterday after 3 months. The employees were paid yesterday after 3 months. So in that sentence there, we can ask the question, when were the employees paid? Because they were paid, but when? And so the answer to the question when would be yesterday. So in that sentence, yesterday is the adverb that answers to the question when. We also have another sentence, another example. They will finish the work later. They will finish the work later. And so we identify the verb, of course, will finish, which represents the future tense. And since it is future, we ask, when will they finish the work? We ask the question when, and the answer comes later. So in that sentence, the adverb that tells us when is later. So this is an adverb of time. So we've looked at adverbs of manner, which answer the question how. Then we've looked at adverbs of time, which answer the question when about the verb. And now we look at adverbs of place. Of course, when we hear place, we think of where. So adverbs of place answer to the question where. Words such as here, there, everywhere, near, outside, anywhere, below, far are some of the words that can function as an adverb or adverbs of place. Of course, they have a relationship with another part of speech, which is preposition. But of course, we're not dealing with that today. We're using these words to show that they answer to the question where after we ask the question when we identify the verb. So let's go with two examples. He played outside for the entire day. And so right off, we can identify the verb in that sentence which says played. Played is that verb or that action word. And so we can ask the question, played where? The answer surely comes outside. So in that sentence, the word outside is functioning as an adverb and it answers to the question where. So this particular word is an adverb of place. Next we have another sentence. The feeble lady could not walk far. The feeble lady could not walk far. Of course, this sentence has a verb or an action that is linked by a word that tells us it's negative, the word not. So the lady could not walk, and then we ask the question where? Far. So what's the action there that the lady couldn't do? Could not walk. And so where couldn't she walk? Far. And so there we have it, another type of adverb, adverb of place. Of course, there is another, adverbs of degree. And so as we move on, it gets a little more technical, as we would say. But of course, once you reason and once you discuss, once you practice, once you use your eyes when you read and you think about what you have heard and make that connection, then it will not be difficult. So adverbs of degree. What do these types of adverbs do? They answer to the question, to what extent? Words such as almost, quite, very, rather, just, enough, and nearly are some of those words that help us to identify the adverb that is answering to the question, to what extent. So let's look at a few examples. The lady speaks very softly. As a matter of fact, this particular adverb of degree helps us to understand that another adverb is being described here. And so, like we said, adverbs not only give more meaning to verbs, but they also give or add more meaning to other adverbs. And this is an example. The lady speaks very softly. Softly says how the lady speaks. So this is an adverb of manner. That's softly. However, it's not only an adverb of manner, but very in that sentence tells the degree of softness. So the degree of softness answers to the question, to what extent? Very. So the lady speaks very softly. Next example, the man is almost blind. Almost tells the degree of blindness. Therefore, it is an adverb of degree, going with the adjective blind. Remember, we said that an adverb is a word that adds more meaning to a verb. It also helps to add more meaning or give more meaning to another adverb. And also, it gives meaning to an adjective, or it helps to describe. So in this example, the man is almost blind. We see the adverb almost modifying or giving more meaning or adding more meaning to the adjective blind. So it tells to what degree the blindness is, almost. To what extent? Next, we have adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency answer to the question, how often? Words such as once, sometimes, often, seldom, never, always, and frequently are some of those words that are used or can function as adverbs and answer to the question, how often? So here is an example. I seldom visit my mother. In that sentence, the verb is visit. But how often do I visit my mother? Seldom is the answer. So adverbs of frequency answer to the question, how often? Next example. They always talk in class. What's the verb in that sentence? Talk. And so the adverb there that tells us how often they talk in class is always. And so we can have those adverbs that give us the answer to the question how often being used when we are writing or even speaking in order to make our language more meaningful. Then we have the adverbs of affirmation. What are adverbs of affirmation? Adverbs of affirmation and negation are words such as no, yes, not, never, and certainly. So we have those types of adverbs too. Of course, they do not answer to any question, but it is specific and direct. So, he never eats carrots. That one is direct. You can understand what happens there with carrots and the boy or the man. He never eats carrots. So never there is qualifying or modifying the verb eats. He can certainly come. It's an affirmation. He can certainly come. The verb in that sentence there is can come, and so the affirmation word is certainly. That's an adverb of affirmation. And then there's another one. No, I am not going. No, I am not going. Then we have adverbs of questioning. Adverbs of questioning answer the questions where, when, and how. And this is very simple. How are you feeling? Where did you put my books? When are you coming to visit me? Where are you going for vacation? So adverbs of questioning are simply those adverbs or words that ask a question. So let's go back. We looked at several types of adverbs. They answer to the question how. So those adverbs are adverbs of manner. They answer to the question when. So those adverbs are adverbs of time. They also answer to the question where. So these are adverbs, or those are adverbs of place. We have adverbs of degree. They answer to the question to what extent. Then we have adverbs of frequency. They answer to the question how often. Then we have those adverbs of affirmation. They do not answer questions, but they simply emphasize a particular condition like no, yes, never, and certainly. And then finally we have adverbs of questioning. So they are used to ask questions where, when, and how. So you can do some work on your own. Let's look at an activity that you can do on your own, or with a friend, or with someone who can work along with you, or when you are finished, you can read your paragraph. So I would like you to look at the picture, study it, and then use appropriate adverbs as you write a short paragraph. Of course, the paragraph will not only be made up of adverbs, but you will be writing sentences, and you'll use appropriate adverbs in those sentences as you write your paragraph about that picture. Do enjoy as you practice with the different types of adverbs. See you then, boys and girls. Have fun.